Summer prep week 3, Monday's workout. This is lower body. We are doing some squat variations and what else are we doing? Oh yeah, some suitcase carries. So shoulder stability, core stability, and some windmills and some calves and other accessories, back delts. Also in this, I'm gonna break down the shoulder car a little bit, especially the extension part, the arm reaching back part. Okay, so our warm-up circuit, we can do this 1 or 2 times. Usually for a warm-up, I like to spend around 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes warming things up. And generally they're warm-ups that are related to what we're doing for the rest of the session. But if you have time, go for a walk for 5 minutes or use the treadmill just to get some overall blood flow. Ride a stationary bicycle, walk stairs, anything that just is full body is going to be helpful for 3 to 5 minutes before your workout. If you can't do it now, that's fine, but just keep that in your mind for future workouts. So we have the shoulder car nice and slow for about 1 minute. You can do this single arm or both arms together. I'm going to show you a single arm. You can have any body position you want, seated, standing, in a chair, on a cushion. There's more challenging variations, but I'll show you the basic one. The basic one is that you're going to take this shoulder joint through its largest range of motion that is relatively comfortable and manageable. And you're going to create some tension. So you're going to make a fist in the working arm. You're going to cross over your chest. Arm goes up along the ear to a place that maybe it disappears out of your peripheral vision. And then your arm's going to come wide. And now you're going to start to rotate in your shoulder. So you're going to turn your palm down and roll that arm bone in as you reach the arm back behind you. Now we try and keep it high briefly so that we can work some tricep stuff and some other extension muscles on the back side of that shoulder. And then the arm comes down by the side, or you can bend the elbow and bring the hand back behind you. And then straighten the arm, back behind you, arm comes wide and up along the ear and in front of the face. I'll show you that again from the side and then I'll show you from the front. Cross, up, wide, and then as we reach the arm back, naturally the shoulder needs to rotate. So maybe you don't have to think about it, but it's just going to work there. You can try and bring the palm to face towards the ceiling, and what that's going to do is rotate your arm bone in your shoulder socket as you reach that arm back and up behind you. Elbow might bend, woof, straighten the arm goes wide, up along the ear, and in front of the chest. All right, and then we'll do the other side, and I'll show you from the front. Oh, this might be... Okay, cross in front, make a strong fist. Oof, this shoulder is feeling tired after all the exercises I've done recently, past few days. Reach the arm back, and as you reach back, that palm starts to turn and face up towards the ceiling as that arm rolls forward and in. Oof, bend the elbow. Whew. I already did some overhead press today, so I'm feeling a little fatigued. The cool thing about a move like a shoulder car where you're just exploring your range of motion is that whatever you find in this moment, it's like a little dipstick test. It's like, how's my shoulder joint feeling today? How's my range of motion capability? And also it helps to wake up some deep tissue stuff in that arm. So the goal for these is like 30 to 90 seconds per arm. If you have more time, you go for more, or you can do them throughout the day. Okay, shoulder cars. 90-90 switch for the hips. So I don't think you can see my feet, but let me try it this way. Heels to the ground, feet wider than the hips, hands behind you to support, and we drift the knees from side to side. I don't have space, so I'm going to do it this way. Drift the knees side to side. You can have the knees bent like 90-ish degrees. Whew. Feeling some feels. Goal is to move the hips. It's okay if your knees don't touch the ground. If you want more intensity, you can do this with the hands off the floor. Maybe clasp hands together. And we'll do that for whatever this prescribed amount of time is. Okay, forearm plank rotations. Since we're doing some front dumbbell squats, we're gonna warm up our front plank muscles or front pressing muscles. Forearm plank rotations, feet a little wider than hips on your forearms, and we'll drift hips to one side. Heels drift, hips stay high, and we'll go the other way. So we've got some shoulder stability, we've got some trunk engagement, got some pressing move into the shoulder. If you need padding underneath sensitive forearms, sensitive elbows, then grab a towel, put that under there. Good. We'll do that for a prescribed amount of time. 10 to 20. If that doesn't feel great, you can hold a plank. You could do a plank rock, go forward and back. Feeling your trunk, front abs, feeling some work through the shoulders in that pushing push motion. Okay, bridge walkout for our hips for a little curtsy warm up. So for a bridge walkout, first level is just a bridge, hips to the ground or feet to the ground, hips up. This is level 1. Level 2, you're going to put your heels a little further away. And I like to pull my toes towards my shins. That feels more accessible. So this is option 2. So still hamstrings are working, back glutes are working, low back is working, back of the arms are working, hamstrings, calves, the whole shebang on the back side. Option 3 is even further away. And then option 4 is the walkout. So you will move between all of those positions. You'll start in level 1, and then you'll start to walk 1 foot away from you at a time until you get to a place that feels like, I don't know if I can come back. And then you come back. Ooh, I'm getting little hints of a hamstring cramp. That's exciting. Yeah. Good, so we walk back in and then we walk back out. Trying to keep the hips relatively stable. Yes, they will move somewhat, but our goal here is to give our hips a little experience in maintaining themselves with just on a single leg for a brief moment. Good, I'm gonna do one more, it feels great. Awesome, and then the hips go down. All right, so if you have time, run through all of that again, starting from the top, or pick and choose. All right, so we have heels elevated dumbbell front squats. So this is for my people that maybe have challenges with your knees in squats or ankle mobility. And it's also just a different variation to keep things a little spicy. So I don't have a plate here. If I was at the gym, I would put a weight plate on the ground. So instead, I'm going to use these 2 little dumbbells so I can put my heels up on, I don't know if that's going to feel good. Up on there, I'm going to use a blanket to solve this problem. I just don't want to trip on that. Okay, let's see. That's better. That's better. So the idea is that the heels are elevated, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow our knees to move forward. and it doesn't require this deep ankle crease. So if you have ankle stuff going on, that's going to help. All right, and now it's dumbbell front squats. So you're going to put 2 weights at the shoulders, and we're asking for 6 to 10 reps. And we're squatting to a depth that we can control. I just want to make sure that I'm doing what I had scheduled. Yes, front squats. Okay. So I'm going to use my 20s, my trusty 20s. And I'm going to pull those puppies. My arms are tired, so I have to like deadlift them up to my shoulders. I'm going to go this way so I'm not yelling into the microphone. All right, so heels are up. You got weights at the front rack at your shoulders, so they can rest on your shoulders. That's okay. And then we travel down to a comfortable place that you can control and get out of. So I have a pretty deep range of motion. You do not have to go as deep as me. If you have that flexibility like I do, I recommend strengthening there. And the cool thing about these front squats is that we are getting a little added work into our front trunk. So we're getting a core workout because of where the weight is positioned. The weight is shifted a little forward, so my biceps have to work, our abs have to work. Yeah. Let's go one more. Ooh, that one gets the heart pumping. I'm going to set those weights down. How does it feel for you? Let me know. And we're going to, that's a single set, so you're going to catch your breath for like a minute or so, minute and a half, maximum 2 minutes, and then do another set. And then if you have time, do a third set. Mixed overhead suitcase carry, yeah? Yeah, suitcase carry. Woo! All right. So you're gonna, better clean this up before I trip. You're going to have a weight on your side and a weight overhead. And then you're gonna march or you're gonna walk around. Generally, we will probably be able to carry more weight on this bottom hand than on the top. For me, I'm gonna go 26 on the top, let's see. And then it's like 45 on the bottom, 44. So this is grip strength, this is also core strength, and it's overhead shoulder stability. So first, how am I gonna do this? Let's see. I'm gonna do a shoulder rack, and then I'm gonna pick up my bottom weight. Ooh. And then I'm gonna push this weight up with a little hip thrust. Okay, I got there. All right, now I'm gonna march because I don't have much space here to show you. No, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk. Ooh. So the walking part is cool because then you get to feel your feet and get some stability work into your pelvis as it relates to your spine. We're going for time here. We really want to punch those knuckles up on that top weight. Ooh. And you can probably lift heavier on that top weight than you think you can because we're just holding it up there. So we're not doing presses, so you're just holding. So for me, if I was doing presses on that arm, I was working with 17 earlier today. And I chose 26 because I knew I was just going to hold it up there. So explore with challenge on that overhead piece. And then this bottom piece, that felt really fun, 44. Felt fun. And I know my idea of fun might be different than your idea of fun. But hopefully you find some sort of joy in feeling your body work and be challenged. So of course we will do that for time, 25 to 60 seconds, and then switch sides. And then we rest, and then we do another round. Curtsy squat. Curtsy squat. So this, we were working with a cossack squat last time. We were doing it kind of assisted. So we had a chair or a counter or a door frame in front of us, and then we were going wide legs. We were going side to side, and that's a big stretch on the inner thighs. It's some work into that back glute to push into the floor, push. So if you're still working with these curtsies, keep going, because you could do it now hand unassisted, or you could even hold a weight at the chest and push and push. So that's a way to progress the cossack squat from last week. If you're ready for something a little bit different but similar, it's our curtsy squat. We might want hand support. And instead of having wide legs for this, this is a crisscross leg. It's like a scissor leg. So it would look like this. Some hand support, stable leg, free leg is going to go behind you and across, and little tap of the toe back. Tap of the toe, I don't want you to lean back into the back foot. I want you to keep load heavy in this front leg so we can really work into that glute and quad and hamstring. Good, and then we come up to stand. Free leg goes back and crosses behind to touch, and then stand up. You got hand support if you need it. I just have like finger weight on there for a little stability work. If this feels fine and dandy, then you could add a hand weight. I think I would probably go with a hand weight in the working side. So if I've got my right foot working, then I'll probably put a weight in my right hand. The left leg goes back to touch. So we're traveling down and up, down and up. So we're giving some work into those quads and into those knees and into that front foot and shin, and also into this trunk, this core work. And then of course we will switch sides. Now you might notice that the other side can handle more or less. It might be more stable or less stable. That is all very common. You could use your free hand as a counterbalance if you've moved on from hand support. Control that range of motion down and up. Use that front leg, so load up into that front leg. Woo. And press into that foot. That foot drives into the floor. Curtsy squats. Curtsy if you're feeling fancy. Sometimes halfway through I get a little anxiety and I'm like, did I hit record? I did. Thank goodness. Praise be. Also, I had a little bit of caffeine today, which is not normal. I'm usually a decaf drinker, so I'm a little bit buzzed. I had the regular full test. Oh, right. So this is actually kind of a lot. We did curtsy squat, which is single leg, and then single leg, and then we're supersetting with a windmill. That's a lot when it's double, like single leg and then another single exercise, single side. So you can break those up if you want to. This is the kettlebell windmill, and we had kneeling. I'm just going to show you because I didn't get to show you the past couple weeks. Some people loved this. Some people not so much, or they didn't think it was much of a challenge, and that's totally valid. So I have a wide split stance, kneeling split stance, And this leg that's forward, I'm going to have my arm come down to the floor or a block or elbow. I'm not getting elbow down there. My legs are too long. And then arm up. And what I forgot to do on the second week was to progress us with an overhead weight. So this is what makes it more challenging. If you were bored with this version, is you can take a weight, push it up overhead. We will instantly feel stuff happening here, especially if we come down, whew, and then travel up. So that's a way to progress the kneeling version from the past couple of weeks. All right, we get this hip crease, and then our obliques and our sideways stuff and our trunk stuff has to work to come upright. And you're also getting a bunch of shoulder stability stuff similar to our suitcase carry. And then of course you'll switch sides. If you're doing the regular kettlebell windmill, the new one for this week, then it looks like this. Feet wide. Push the weight up. And then I like to turn my toes away from the weight. So if I have my right shoulder up, then my toes are pointing a little to the left. And then I'm going to bend my left knee, back of the hand, along the thigh. And I'm going to drag my hand down my leg and then push into my left foot. Whoop, I lost balance to come up. Hand travels down the leg. We get a loaded stretch on this top side of your waist. And then up we come. A lot of work happening through the trunk. So this is a different but similar variation of the kneeling windmill. You have more space for your hips to move, and it's potentially more exciting for the sides. Ooh, that's fun. And of course we'll do the other side. So the toes turn, weight, knees bend. Kind of like, if you're familiar with yoga, kind of like a yoga triangle position, similar. But give your knee a little bend, or at least I like that variation personally. Having some microphone issues. Okie dokie. So now our finisher. Any of these you can add in if you have time. Single leg calf raise. Hand support, please. Weight is in the hand of the working leg. We travel up and down. Now, if you have a stair, or a step, or a plate, or a calf machine, that's ideal because then we get more of a range of motion. If you have a yoga block and a heavy dumbbell, do this. Weigh down that block so that you can put the ball of the foot on it with the heel hovering, and then do your calf raise so we can get this down portion of the range of motion and then all the way up. Woo! So we're increasing the range of motion here on the block versus the floor. You might not be able to see my head. It's okay. Toes spread, ball of the foot is on contact, and just noticing what you'd feel in the heel. Notice if the heel kind of wags as it goes up and down, or can the heel find a pathway that's a little bit more controlled. That might change over time, yeah? And then we do the other side. Those are fun. Standing banded hip flexion. Band goes around, it's a looped band, goes around the feet. Hand support, and then one knee pulls up, I have a long band, so I'm just gonna hold mine in an isometric, because if I try and march with it, it just doesn't, I have to do a lot of switching. So I'm gonna keep that hold up there for time, and we're working some deep hip stuff. If you get really kind of cranky in your front hips, it might be that you need to strengthen in that area, along with some stretching. Good, and this is also a little bit of ab work. RDLs, we've done before, hips go back. You can do a single weight, or you can do 2 weights. You can do a single hand, and then switch hands, but hips are going back, so we're loading up that back side to get a little different movement patterning than our curtsy squats and our dumbbell squats. Today's kind of a hefty day, depending on what you have time for. Good, and then last we do our bent over deltoid flies. These make 5 pounds feel really heavy. Although I worked up on Sunday to 12.5s recently, so that felt fun because it's really hard to progress on these. It just takes a long time because they're small muscles, the deltoids. So you're gonna find a hinge pattern. The more that you hinge forward, the more that you're gonna ask of the back shoulders to do. And then the arms are either gonna come out in a cactus-like shape or a little bit straighter for the arms. And what I want you to focus on is getting a little pause at the top portion, just to make sure we can ask those muscles to work and we're not just using momentum. And then we try and stay strong in our rest of our body for stability stuff, and we're working, of course, some back muscles. Ooh, I already did these today. These feel too exciting. All right. That is that. I hope that helps. And if you have questions, send them to me, or send them to me in the chat, or message me, and have fun with it. And I love seeing what you guys are doing and how you're getting after it. So keep on, keep on.